Hello, and welcome to Reimagine Project Management. My name is Howard Crow, and I am the head of product for Microsoft Planner and Microsoft Project. I am so honored that you have joined us. It's incredibly exciting to be here with the over 5,000 people who have registered for this conference. This is by far the biggest conference on project management we have ever hosted. We hear so much about the transformation of work these days, and it's about the incredible leap companies have taken during the pandemic to implement digital innovations to help employees work better together now that so many of us are working from home. But as you know, this transformation is not quite as new as everybody seems to think. And it didn't just appear out of nowhere or happen overnight. What we've seen this past year is really just the intense acceleration of a trend we, and by we, I mean all of you in our wonderful community and all of us here at Microsoft, have been focused on for the last 5 years. There was a time when projects were a discrete subset of the work people did every day. Back then, a project was a tightly defined set of tasks, with a project manager leading a group of people to achieve a specific goal. Not anymore. Today, all work is project work, and everyone works on projects. Now a project can take a couple of people a few hours, or it can embrace an entire portfolio of initiatives that span an organization and last years. Today, projects are how we create alignment. Projects are how we create clarity. Projects are how we motivate. Projects are how we empower teams. Projects are how we celebrate success. And projects are how we lead our organizations. A transformation like this demands new approaches and a new generation of tools. Tools that span the entire organization. Tools that meet people where they are working, from our homes to the warehouse to the retail store. This has been our journey together over the past 5 years, to lead the way forward to develop new connected project experiences that are simple enough for everyone to use and powerful enough to be a catalyst for business success across the world's largest organizations. In a time when projects are the unifying thread woven throughout the fabric of modern work, Microsoft delivers the platform, tools, and capabilities teams need to eliminate complexity, to be clear about priorities, stay on top of tasks, and work together to achieve key strategic objectives. Microsoft's transformation would not have been possible without you. Your insights, feedback, and collaboration are the engine that drives our progress. We are so impressed by the depth of your knowledge and the generosity of your commitment to help us build the best tools for today's project-driven work environment. To keep that momentum and knowledge sharing going, I encourage you to join and create roundtables. Connect with your fellow attendees via social media and share your thoughts and ideas throughout the conference. I can't possibly thank you enough for all that you have taught us, except to say that there is no doubt that the knowledge that you have shared with us is reflected in every aspect of Microsoft's connected project experiences. Which makes it all the more exciting to see what can happen when project management leaders from across the industry who have been integral to our work make Microsoft integral to theirs. Project management leaders like Peter Kerr Sorensen, who is the head of project and portfolio management at Global Connect. Global Connect is a leading IT infrastructure and telecommunications provider in Northern Europe. The company has laid more than 74,000 kilometers of fiber and manages 16 data centers with over 1,600 employees and €500 million in revenue. Over the past 2 years, Peter has been leading a digital transformation across 30 major projects, all running on Microsoft's connected project services, with an adaptive governance process built on the Microsoft Power Platform. This has provided the company's leadership visibility across all the company's work, improved collaboration at every level, and dramatically increased the speed of project delivery. But Global Connect has not just reimagined its business. The flexibility of Microsoft Project has enabled the company to shift its project processes from hierarchy-based decision-making to a human behavior-based approach that is rooted in the half-double methodology. This flexibility has allowed all the teams at Global Connect to work the way they want. The greater transparency and clarity provided by the Microsoft system allows teams to make better and faster decisions. This speed and agility have resulted in dramatic change and remarkable outcomes for Global Connect. There's been an 84% reduction in hours spent on project management, which has allowed the project managers to take on 50% more projects. In the words of Peter Sorensen, the impact of Project in the Power Platform has been and continues to be profound. But this is really just the beginning for all of us. To tell you more about the vision that has driven our work and shaped our journey, I would like to introduce you to Stephanie Dart, our Director of Product Marketing.
Thank you for sharing that great customer story, Howard. I look forward to chatting with you during our Q&A at the end of the program. It's a pleasure to be here today to share our vision for a new generation of connected project experiences. Experiences designed to empower the people in your organization to meet the rising tide of complexity and drive your business forward. We live in a time of remarkable technological progress and change. And in today's fast-paced, competitive, and connected world, we have so much information, so many opportunities, so many insights, and so much that we aspire to achieve. But we pay a high price for this wealth of possibilities. Every morning, people sit down to start a new workday, overwhelmed by yesterday's tasks, unclear about today's responsibilities, and confused about tomorrow's priorities. Research tells us that half of employees don't actually know what their boss expects from them, and 40% say they are highly stressed by their workload. The fact is that reducing complexity and increasing visibility into project-based work is one of the overriding business challenges of our time. And it has also been one of the most difficult to solve for, until now. Our goal and our commitment is to help you reimagine project management by delivering connected experiences that make it easy to plan work strategically, balance conflicting priorities, and elevate team performance, all while reducing the stress that comes with completing projects on time and on budget in today's demanding, high-speed work environment. I'm thrilled to say that with your help, our solutions, including Microsoft Planner, Microsoft Project, and Dynamics 365 Project Operations, truly provide the end-to-end management capabilities that teams and organizations of all sizes need to tackle projects of every level of complexity. Cutting through that complexity starts with visibility. Microsoft's connected project experiences are designed to help you organize and view projects, schedules, and tasks at a glance, or dive more deeply into all the details. They provide intelligent, data-driven operational insights so you can address emerging issues before they become problems and seize opportunities while they are still hot. And they are built so it is easy to take advantage of flexible solutions that map to your business processes and adapt to the way your teams work best. Cutting through complexity also depends on increasing alignment within and across teams to ensure that everyone is focused on common goals. With Planner, Project, and Project Operations, project managers can help team members work together more effectively by keeping everyone up to date on the status of every step and deliverable. And they can optimize how resources are utilized to ensure that the right people are solving the right problems, and teams have the capacity to do their best work. Cutting through complexity is the key to enabling your teams to achieve the high levels of performance and productivity that they are truly capable of. By providing clear expectations about budgets and timelines, Microsoft's connected project experiences will enable you to set your teams up to drive strategic outcomes that improve customer satisfaction, increase profitability, and reduce costs. And by reducing complexity and increasing clarity, you will take an important step forward toward achieving the kinds of successful results that lead to happier, more engaged teams. While we are excited by what connected project experiences can deliver today, we also know that solving today's complexity challenges alone isn't enough. Long-term business success is also built on a modern technology platform that supports a culture of innovation and offers the flexibility to grow and adapt. Microsoft's connected project experiences also deliver a unified approach that brings together all of your company's data to help you uncover insights. And with simplified IT management and the security of the world's most trusted cloud to protect your processes and intellectual property, Planner, Project, and Project Operations mark the beginning of a new era of project experiences that will transform how teams and organizations manage their work. To show you how it all comes together, it is my pleasure to introduce Heather Heide and Bernardo Aracalde. Take it away, Heather.
Thanks, Stephanie. Now I'm going to introduce you to Contoso Coffee. We're a coffee company that has coffee machines, and we also have a franchise business. We've been looking at our latest sales figures, and we've noticed our number of stores isn't growing as fast as we would like it to. And people just don't think our coffee is that good. They think it's okay, and we want them to like it a latte. So let's review what we're working on in 2021. And these projects look good, but we really need to tackle this coffee flavor issue. We need to brew up something big. So we are going to introduce the best coffee maker ever, the Cafe Grande 2000. And we're going to have Nancy own this project because she's done this before and we think she'll do a great job at it. And now, we really need to have this done by the end of June to take advantage of the iced coffee season in July. So I'm going to add a new key date and I'm going to set it to end of June. Okay, now Nancy is going to take it from here. Now Nancy starts in the project client and she has a project that she's used before, so she's going to reuse this one. But she's not sure if this is the right tool. This is a top priority, right? We have to hit end of June and it needs to be really collaborative with her team. So she actually decides she wants to use Project for the Web. So now she is going to import her project plan into Project for the Web. So I come over here to import. I come and find my file. Here's my Cafe Grande project. Open and click import. Now here is my project plan in Project for the Web. And as I mentioned, I need to collaborate with my team. So I'm going to go ahead and connect this to my Office 365 group that already exists and all my team is a part of. So that way everybody will have access to this and be able to use it. So I do that, and now by doing that, I can start assigning the task out to members of my team. So I'm going to switch to my timeline view to see how my task schedule is laid out, and I can interact with the schedule here and continue to make adjustments as I want to. For example, I think this task is going to take a little longer, so I'm going to drag it out. And then, this task actually needs to come before the next one, so I am going to drag those to link them together. And again, you can see real time as my schedule updates based on those changes. Now I'm going to do some more updates to my project, and after I have those done, I can also have my project show up in Teams, so that way my entire team has one spot where they can go to come see, the team chat and their projects, files, etc. So you can see I've added some more information to this project. So I have some notes, I've done some attachments, so everything's right there for people. Oh, I have some more information. Actually, I have a couple tasks that are late. This one's assigned to me. Good news though, it's actually done, so I will go ahead and mark that complete. Now I'm going to come over to my board view, and I can see it laid out by bucket, but I want to see it by assigned to, just to kind of relook at those assignments and make sure everything looks good. Actually this task, this one I need David to work on, so I'm going to reassign it to him. But now, we're basically ready to get going on this project, so I'm going to let my team know. So I can bring up my comments pane from my team chat and say @general, everything is ready. Go, go, go. So let everyone know that we are ready to begin our Cafe Grande 2000 project. And now some time passes, and you can see we're making really good progress on the Cafe Grande 2000. So we actually are ready to kick off our marketing campaign now. So I'm going to switch over to my marketing campaign now. And you can see this is where my marketing team lives. We're in Teams. And actually, Jeremy posted something that we need to do as part of the Cafe Grande launch. And I want to track this. So I'm going to convert this to a task. So now I will have a task in my plan to capture this work, but it is still linked to this conversation in case there's more information that comes in. And I can set the name to whatever I want. So I'm going to shrink that down a little bit, and it will come into task, and I can click to add that task. Now let's come in and see all of our tasks. And now we can see all of our tasks that our marketing team is working on here on our tasks tab. And we can add additional information to those tasks. So here's the booth plan that we need to come up with, and we can add some labels. Oh, whoa, look at all these labels. There's even Marigold. That's awesome. Let's use Marigold to track our booth. So we'll set that, and this is high priority and critical. So we'll set a couple more information on this, and we have it on Lucy, which is good. I have some other tasks, such as the video agency that we need to work on, talking to Jamie, and we're making good progress here. So let me mark some of those complete. And just, I can keep updating this based off what's going on in my marketing team. In fact, this document here, this is really what we need everyone focusing on right now. We have to get this document done today. So I want to be very explicit on what work is remaining on this document. So now that the document's open, I'm going to select some task. And Lucy needs to rewrite this paragraph. I've already talked to her about it. So I'm going to add a new comment. And mention Lucy, please update per our conversation. And I'm not just going to mention her in the comment, I'm actually going to assign a task to her. So again, I can be very explicit on who needs to do this task and what when they are done with it. Now if I come up, I see I have a new conversation from Jeremy. Uh-oh. We just heard from our suppliers that we need to change our design on our filter. We're going to have to update our project for this. So I'm going to switch over to the Project Power App, where you'll see the exact same project that I was looking at before, but through the power of Power Apps, you can actually extend it to have more information. So I have issues and risk now. You can do change management. You can even track project requests. But here I'm showing you some issues, and we knew that this could be an issue, that the filter might not work. So we actually had a issue ready to go, and we're going to mark that to active because this actually did come through. And good thing we already have a resolution. We can use a different model. It's just going to add 10 days to our schedule. So let's see what that does. So we come over to our project plan, and let me scroll down. You can see we're making really good progress, but let me scroll down to the end where this will affect it. I'm going to change this task from 10 days to 20 days. And you can see that my project immediately updates. Let me come look at my end date. And you can see, okay, we're still June 25th. That's before the end of June. We're still good. Everything's okay. Now let me check out our report over in Power BI because you have all this data around projects. You can connect that to Power BI and build all kinds of different reports. And I have this one showing for my specific project. I can see, oh, I do have that one late task. I'll need to look at that. But it looks like everything will be okay. We're still going to finish on time. Life is good. So let me switch back to my roadmap, and we had set the execution task to red just because we had the big issue, but now we're feeling better about it. So let's set that back to at risk because we're still not 100% confident, but it's looking good. Now the great news is that there's a lot of buzz around Cafe Grande 2000, and it's really starting to help our franchise business. And with that, I'll hand it to Bernardo, who will walk through the store rebranding project.
Thank you, Heather. Let me introduce you to Spencer Lowe. He's a project manager for the Contoso Coffee franchise business. As part of the Cafe Grande 2000 program, Contoso will rebrand and refurbish some of the franchised stores. Spencer has been selected to lead this effort. With Microsoft Teams integration, Spencer can easily collaborate between teams and working in Dynamics 365. Spencer goes directly to Dynamics 365 Project Operations in Teams. Spencer starts by entering the new project. So now in Project Operations, and please notice, I'm still in Teams. I'm going to start capturing the project. And the customer for this is going to be Bean Fix San Diego. If I recall well, they were the ones who requested. So I select that. So now I can go and proceed and start using the project capabilities inside of Project Operations. Project Operations uses the same experience from Project for the Web for that purpose. I'm going to start capturing the project tasks. First, I'm going to create the planning activities. And of course, this will be part of tasks. Then, of course, as he progresses in building the schedule, he now can add some resources. He can either select some of the resources he knows he can use or add generic resources. And for this, I'm going to use a site foreman. Of course, I need to assign that the same role. I select it, and save it for my project. Either way, project operations will calculate the cost of the task based on the resource he assigns the task to. I'm going to add the site foreman to some of these tasks, or myself as the project manager. Now the project schedule is in good shape. All the tasks have been assigned, and Spencer can review the project schedule using the different views. Spencer wants to be sure that the overall project estimate is accurate. For that, we go to the estimates and review that all the resources are assigned and they are getting the appropriate cost assigned to each of them. Spencer now can communicate back with confidence to Molly the schedule and its estimates are fully aligned. Now, some time has passed and the implementation of the rebranding and refurbished project is underway. One of the team members, Sanjay, is the store designer and he just imported his hours from the project schedule. With project operations time entry capabilities, Sanjay can easily adjust his scheduled hours before sending them to the project manager. For example, he remembers to account for the couple of hours he spent of his daughter's soccer game last Monday. For that purpose, he goes into time entries and then start adding his absence. This was last Monday and it's actually an absence. And it's going to be for 2 hours. Now he can submit his hours to the project manager for approval. Sanjay also needs to submit an expense related to the project. With project operations, Sanjay can easily manage and track his expenses reports across his projects. Sanjay locates the latest expense that he submitted. He wants to make sure that the actual ticket was captured correctly. And by doing that, he goes and reviews the receipt. Project Operations has the capability to read the receipts directly and capture the lines of the expense. As you can see, we are confirming that everything is correct, and he's comfortable to send this expense to his manager. We go back to the expenses, select it, and submit it. Let me introduce you to Connie, the project accountant. She wants to review the latest project financials for the store rebrand and refurbish project. To do this, she can view the project statements to get an in-depth look at the project financial information. Project statements break down the actual revenue and cost of the project, including the actual hours, expenses, and items consumed so far. The project statement is broken into categories: profit and loss, work in progress, consumption, invoice, and hour rate. For profit and loss, Connie can see a snapshot that accrued revenue and cost of the project so far. Since this project just started, the current cost is much higher than the received revenue. This view shows the consumption of the actual hours, expenses, and items consumed through the course of the project. Connie can also view the forecast financial of this project. In this view, Connie can see the expected overall revenue and cost for the project. With the robust financial capabilities of project operations, project accountants and business managers are empowered to drive business performance through the streamlined project financials. Back to you, Heather.
Thanks, Bernardo. Big news, everyone. Cafe Grande 2000 is ready to be installed in our stores. Very exciting. So now we want to publish a list of tasks to our stores so they can all start with the execution. So I'm going to come over here to my task, and I have my published list. And regularly we send updates to the stores for what they need to do. So they need to install the Cafe Grande, update some flyers. There's a new muffin flavor. Very exciting. And now we can publish that to our stores so they can start working on this. So come in here, and we're only going to send this to the North American stores because we're starting with them first to see just how the Cafe Grande does. Now I click Next, And now we will publish these tasks, and they will all get an individual task for each of these in their task list. And now I'm the store manager for the Seattle store. And I can see I have a notification that some new tasks have come from corporate. And if I bring up my full task list, I'll be able to see that those tasks are there, along with the other tasks that we have specific to this store. So I'm going to switch over to my board view, and I can see, these are the new tasks. I need to figure out who's going to work on them. Okay, install the Cafe Grande. I need to schedule that work, and I think I'll have to work on that, and maybe Alex, and we need to get that done, really soon, because everyone's so excited for that Cafe Grande to come out. But I'm not sure if I have time to do this task, so let me look at my task list. So I'm going to switch over to the task app, and now I can see all the tasks assigned to me across all my plans and just those individual tasks I've added for myself. And it looks like we can have this done, and I'm going to say that we're done. We just did it. It was super easy. We're so excited, so I've marked that task complete. Now I come back to this published task list, and I can easily see how the stores are doing. So let me drill into this one, and I can see that, one of our West US ones, is that Seattle store has already completed that task. Awesome. And I can see which stores haven't, so I know who to reach out for. And by the way, if you have questions on anything that I've been showing today, please join us right after this talk for the live Q&A or for one of the many roundtables we will be holding. Now, lastly, I'm going to switch back to my roadmap, and we're basically all done. So this is awesome. We've done our launch event. The Cafe Grande's out there. People are loving it. We can all relax now. Wait, we're running out of beans? Guess it's time to add another project. And with that, back to Stephanie.
Thank you, Heather. It was great to see how you were able to connect so many critical pieces of work that span the entire organization. And now I'm really wishing I would have had that second cup of coffee. So in just a few moments, I'm going to welcome our expert panel on screen. But before we move to the Q&A, I want to take a moment to recap some of the key points you heard today. Over the last 5 years, we have all been engaged in a remarkable journey together to reimagine how people and groups can better organize, manage, and complete the critical tasks that drive their company's success. Inspired by your guidance and insights, we are proud to deliver a new generation of connected project experiences that will enable you to cut through the complexity that can overwhelm even the most organized project team. With planner, project, and project operations, our connected project experiences offer powerful, advanced capabilities that are easy enough for everyone to use. Capabilities that give people the visibility they need to stay on top of their work, the clarity to focus on the right tasks, the information to optimize resources, and the insights to drive strategic outcomes. Capabilities that are already ushering in a new era of project management that will set your teams up for success in a time when all work is project work and everyone is a project manager. All right, to help you better understand this new era of connected project experiences, we've assembled a panel of experts to answer questions you may have. So if you haven't already done so, please submit questions through the moderated Q&A tab. We also have experts standing by to address questions that we may not have time to answer during this session. So hang tight and give us a minute to get everyone on screen.